Hi, everyone. My name is Tabitha MacDonald, and I am a transformational coach, a body worker, and a trained intuitive. I am so excited that you're here today to learn more about the upcoming Mindful Health program that starts on October 2nd. I have some slides I'm going to share with you and some information, and we're going to do some powerful processes to help you get an idea of what working with mindfulness and your health look and feel like. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share my slides. So mindful health is a body mind transformation program that was really born out of a lot of years of working with clients and seeing how in my bodywork practice, the mind was so important and valuable and engaging with. This presentation is really geared for people who are struggling with unresolved health issues and all of the changes that you've tried to make or implement in your life didn't work or didn't stick, or maybe you received physical therapy exercises, but you couldn't figure out why you couldn't do them, or you just didn't do them. If you have a lot of chronic pain or repetitive injuries that just keep coming back, it feels like you're always getting injured and you don't know why. If you've lost trust in your body, almost like it's out to get you. If you've dealt with a medical trauma, such as cancer, or another life-threatening illness that you survived, but it's left you with a lot of fear or uncertainty about your future. If you have a lot of stress and anxiety and you numb out using unhealthy behaviors like overeating, over drinking, recreational drug use, tuning out with Netflix, if you just feel very disempowered about your health and you're not really quite sure what to do next for yourself, or maybe you're someone who has a ton of advice from a lot of people, and oftentimes it's contradictory and it's just hard and confusing and you don't know the right action steps to take. I'm going to preface this by also saying I am not a medical doctor. So anything you hear or see in this presentation is not meant to replace your medical care. So if you're under the care of a physician, naturopath, or any other healthcare professional in the mental health arena, this is in supplement to that. This is not to replace that. And I just want you to know I really appreciate you. I appreciate your time. I want to give you some really cool or show you some really cool, powerful processes today that will help you understand how your mind affects your body. And then at the end of this presentation, I'm going to talk to the Mindful Health Program. So if you just came to watch this and you really just wanted to learn a cool, powerful technique, totally great and wonderful. If you're interested in working with me more, then we'll cover that at the end of the process. So first, I just want to explain a little bit about what it means when I say mindful health. Mindful health is all about being aware of your physical, mental, and emotional health. It is about being mindful of your thoughts and your feelings and how they affect your overall well-being. It is also about being mindful of your environment and the choices that we make in our lives that can have an impact on our health. Mindful health is about taking the time to listen to your body and to be aware of how your choices affect your health. And it is also about being mindful of your how you diet, like what your diet looks like, what your exercise program is, your lifestyle choices. And if you're struggling with any of these, it's probably part of your identity that just hasn't shifted into the healthy mindset yet. And that's really what I want to teach, is how to use your intuition to anchor in the identity of the person that you would like to become, that you are becoming. I created this program for very personal reasons. I've been working in my own wellness center. I own Soma Massage in Lake Oswego, Oregon. And I've been working with clients for the last decade, specifically around chronic pain and injuries. And what I noticed was people would come in with pain, chronic pain, And it could have been, I'm just thinking of this one woman specifically that I worked with, and she had horrible medical trauma, and she was just stuck in it, like the identity of it. And so as we were shifting the physicality of it and being able to address the pelvic floor pain and the low back pain and the neck pain and the headaches, as we started shifting it all, she stopped coming in right when she was starting to feel really good. And I noticed that it wasn't that it was the pain in the body that needed to shift. It was the identity that needed to shift. Feeling good in her body wasn't part of her identity. And I felt very frustrated because I knew I had the right skills with the body, but I needed to develop the skills with the mind. And I also noticed that as I'm working with people, a lot of my clients were having like big, powerful emotional releases when I would hit a certain part of their body. And it would be like a memory would come back or an emotion would flood them and they would just start crying, or they would feel joy as well. And they wouldn't understand where that came from. And it really, if you read Your Body Keeps the Score, really talks about how our body stores our memory structures, right? So when you press on a tissue that's storing the memory, you're actually releasing that memory into the mind for it to be processed. And so I really started researching and studying and gathering information about the impact of our mind on our health. And it was life-changing for me. And it's been life-changing for my clients as well. I studied trauma, studied the effects of unresolved trauma, heightened states of stress and anxiety on our health and our nervous system. And really all of the information was very clear. It was
I didn't
that
get that. Could you try again?
we empower people with valuable tools to shift their health by using the power of their emotions, their intuition, and to help them learn how to focus their mind on what they want to create in order to have health and vitality. In my clinical experience, engaging with the mind and understanding the emotional impact of pain and illness has had a huge benefit to my clients. And I'm so excited to be able to expand on my clinical experience and bring this knowledge to a broader audience so that people have more tools to feel empowered with their health. Just a little bit about me. This is me in 2016. This was not me at my heaviest weight. This is me after having lost a chunk of it. I've really struggled with my weight my whole life. I tried every diet program, exercise routine, and I've worked with hypnotherapists and transformational coaches. I would lose weight and then gain weight and then lose weight and then gain weight. I'd look at my model of reality and then I would not be able to make a shift. My health was always on the back seat of my life. It was something I was going to take care of next Monday or next week or next year. It was like that thing I was always going to tackle. It's like that messy closet that nobody looks in. That was the way that I felt about my body. And after my divorce, I had a really challenging marriage to an alcoholic. And I had gained so much weight during our divorce because the divorce was really toxic and stressful. And I was building a new business as a way to gain financial independence. And I did great. Like I was so successful with my career and I built a great, beautiful wellness center. And I've taught a lot of single moms how to be successful in massage. And it's been a really very powerful project for myself. But back in 2016, I realized I could barely walk. I had such bad plantar fasciitis. My low back would go out at least twice a year. My neck would go out at least twice a year. And I just was heading so close back up to 300 pounds that I knew I couldn't continue like that. And so I started Weight Watchers back in April 2016 for the last time. And I started slowly making behavioral shifts and losing weight. And I still didn't feel better. I still had a lot of drama in my life, still had a lot of stress. I still had pain. I couldn't figure out what was missing. And back in 2021 was when I first picked up Your Body Keeps the Score. And it explained all that I had been searching for. And that's just that your body is literally storing all of your trauma and your pain and unprocessed emotions. And it is trying to communicate that to you. In 2022, I discovered Magnetic Mind and became a certified coach. And I started using meditation and learning powerful techniques to shift my identity and my mindset using the superconscious recode. I learned to feel my feelings instead of stuffing them. I'm not perfect. I'm still on my journey, but I know I am never going back because I am very anchored in my future self and what I want to create. When we learn how to rewire our unconscious mind, it's the most effective way to create the lasting health transformation that we dream of. What we want to do is we want to learn how to master our mindset, focus on what we want to create, and the body will follow. We want emotional health. Most people live without proper education about how to manage their emotional health. And what we're going to learn is powerful tools to recognize destructive emotions and how to anchor in empowering ones. We want to look at behavioral change, uncover the reasons you go back to self-sabotaging behaviors, and learn practical tools to make permanent shifts in your behavior. And we're also going to learn intuition. Intuition is that inner knowing. It's the way that we pick up information from the field and from our higher self. And so many of us become blocked to it. And health challenges can create a disconnect between our own intuitive knowing and what we think we know from our logical mind, because the two really aren't the same. And so we'll learn how to engage with your inner knowing to find the right action that will make the biggest impact on your health. We all have emotional triggers in our life and stressors that keep us stuck. And it could be, somebody cuts you off on the freeway, or somebody tells you, oh, I get this all of the time. Clients come in and they say, well, I was at the doctor and they told me I have a back of an 80-year-old. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's not helpful, because then they start living like they're 80 instead of 35. And so learning how to say, yes, you have pain and you have muscle dysfunction, but let's figure out how to shift your mindset into where you want to go instead of always looking for the problem. Because if we're always looking for the problem has to be there. So what we want to think about right now are just some emotional triggers or stressors that keep you stuck in a feeling of lack of health. So it was interesting because yesterday, as I was driving home, I had an external cue to eat pizza. And I just got off of a liver cleanse and I've been feeling great. And it was intense. It was a huge emotional trigger for me. And now when these come up, I know where they're coming from, right? So it's no longer like I feel powerless against them, or I feel like I don't understand what's wrong with me. So I listened to my heart and I listened to my body, and I tried to figure out what, I really got into the place where it was loneliness. My daughter just left for she's just turned 18, so she just moved away. And I was feeling a sense of loneliness. And that loneliness was triggered when I was very young. And so when I was young, I would eat pizza to make me feel less lonely. Who knows why an 8-year-old decides pizza makes you feel less lonely, but that was the decision I was making back then. And so for me, the emotional trigger of loneliness will drive me to the Mod Pizza to go get pizza. And so awareness is key here, right? So when we think about some of the emotions that make you feel triggered, I want you to just connect in maybe to a time where you felt powerless around your health. Like maybe you weren't making a great decision that was in alignment with your goal. Think about what that emotion was like for you. And just connect in for a moment with that emotion. And I just want you to notice, where do you first feel it in your body? Where does it show up? There's usually a part of your body that will express it to you. And then when that is triggered, what's your initial reaction? Do you want to reach for food? Do you want to reach for your phone? Do you want to look at Facebook? What's your initial reaction when that emotion comes up for you? And then when you think about this emotion, was there an external cue? Was it a person? Was there a memory? Was it a place? Was it a thought? Think about what triggered it for you. And now think about your thoughts. What are your thoughts about this emotion? Does it feel scary to feel it? Do you just want out of this emotion immediately? Does this emotion feel like it will kill you if you had to feel it? Just think about the emotion like it's outside of you. What are some of your beliefs? Maybe that you don't know how to handle this emotion, that you'll get trapped in it. What are some of your beliefs about yourself with this emotional trigger? Is it that other people have power over you? And just out loud say the emotion that you're afraid of experiencing. What is the name of the emotion? And now what we want to do is we want to think about an emotion that you would like to have instead. So when we're thinking about our health, a feeling that we really want to have is feeling healthy, right? So what does healthy feel like to you? Does it feel energized? When we think about creating a health plan, we want to feel committed and focused and empowered. We want to feel like we have momentum. We want to feel love for our body. We want to feel grateful. We want to feel connected. Now just think, what does healthy feel like to you? Think about a time in your past where you truly felt like you had health. What were you doing? Were you out running? I know I work with a lot of people who are like, the healthiest I ever felt was when I was running a marathon, or I was out hiking in the woods, or I was at a yoga retreat. When have you felt the healthiest? Where in your body did you feel it? Was it physical health? Was it mental health? Was it emotional health? Connect in. Was it all three in perfect alignment? Did you have amazing spiritual health? Did you feel enlightened? Did your body feel light and free? Really step into the experience of having whole health in your body. Feel it in every cell of your body. Feel it like an energy. Maybe connect in with the color green. You associate green with health. Feel green, just kind of like attached to this feeling of whole health. Feel the commitment you have to making sure that your body feels good inside, that it moves with ease. Feel yourself being strong, healthy, and vital. I want you to imagine it with your imagination like it's happening now. I want you to breathe in the sensation of health. Breathe it into every cell of your body. Feel what it would feel like to just step into this this health. Maybe see yourself taking a magical pill and your body instantly transforms into the way that you've always wanted it to be. So just see yourself taking a magic pill and feel your body transform from the inside out, becoming this healthy, radiant, energetic life force. Just notice what it feels like. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. And I want you to think back to that emotional trigger that you had before. Maybe the one where you just felt unhealthy. You just felt unhealthy and heavy and sluggish and not moving and taking the action. Just think back to that feeling. And now let's flip back into health. What does it feel like to be healthy and vital? Step back into taking that magic pill, waving your magic wand, creating total health transformation for yourself. What are the beliefs that you have? What are the thoughts that you have? Step back into it and just allow that feeling to grow. Imagine that feeling as planting a seed in the garden of your health. And just see that that seed is being planted in this garden, this beautiful garden that's you. That's you, and you're planting the seed of possibility. The possibility of having health and vitality in a way that you've never known before. And as you plant that seed in your garden, I just want you to see yourself watering it with your behavior, beliefs, your emotions, your mindset. See yourself watering it with love and gratitude for having a body, for having a human experience. And as you see it, just notice that you're just going to become the seed. And the more that you water it, you're just going to grow and blossom into this wonderful health transformation. And just see that as you're growing and you're blossoming, you're becoming more and more healthy. And just feel that health inside of you just growing as you're replanting this new possibility of health and vitality in your body, showing your mind all of the possibilities, all of the new ways that you can be healthy, and feel yourself growing to this new gorgeous flower. And you're just expanding and growing and becoming the most glorious version of health that you could ever become. And now take a deep breath in. And I just want you to take your right hand and grab your left wrist. And I just want you to feel the sensation of having absolute optimal health now. And when you think you can't add any more health to it, I want you to just pour more water on your garden and feel even healthier and healthier and healthier, and allow your body to express to you what it feels like in optimal health. Take a deep breath in, take your hand off of your wrist, come back into the current experience. And how was that for you? Did you feel how you can change and shift into another way of being when we use our mind to engage our health? And if that was hard for you, you can come back to this exercise and try it again. Sometimes when we start with visualization, it can be a little tricky to get the unconscious mind to engage in creativity and play. And that's okay. That's totally normal. So now I want you to just think about that state or that emotional trigger that you had before. And now put your right hand on your left wrist and see if that helps anchor in or shift your identity at all back into a state of ease with your health. Great. So now when we're looking at creation coaching, conscious creation coaching, one of the things that we do that's really, really valuable is we start with the end in mind. We live in a place of creative orientation. And what that means is that Oh, I have the wrong slide up here. What that means is we want to start with where we're going. And the reason is because our unconscious mind will always recreate what we've always known unless we give it new programming. We need to give it new software. Most of us are operating on software that is operating from programming that was put into place between 2 and 8 years old. And so what we want to do is teach the unconscious mind a new way of being. Our unconscious mind might not know that a healthy body is safe. It might have outdated programming. For those of you who are old enough to remember when DOS was a thing, right? Like that's how I learned how to use a computer. It was on DOS, and then we got Windows, and now we have all of this new advanced technology where most people don't even know what DOS is anymore. It's because we had to rewrite the programming to update with where we were going with technology. The old programming doesn't work anymore. The mind is the same. And so what we want to do is we want to focus on what we want to create, not what we want to avoid. We always want to focus on what we want to create. If we focus on poor health, we have to create more poor health to keep focusing on it. And so shifting into, I want to create a life that I love, and that includes a healthy body, the unconscious mind is going to start giving you a lot of resistance. It's going to say, but that's not possible. My doctor said this. My friend who did it said they had this result. I have a lot of this with a lot of people where they have family rules about how healthy you're allowed to be. They have they don't want to lose the belonging with their families. Maybe they have a family who has a lot of illness. And, if they're the healthy one, then they might lose connection with their family. There's a lot of unconscious programming in our mind that governs our ability to feel healthy. And a lot of the time we're completely unaware of it because that is how the ego works. It doesn't want us to know so that we don't shift. And this is where a lot of people start going for health, and then they find themselves self-sabotaging and going back to the way that it's always been. And that's because they don't know how to live in a state of health. So maybe the bot, I've actually worked with people where they were about to shift and then they went and got a huge injury so that they could, and they did it on, don't think they did it on purpose. They did not do it on purpose. Nothing about it was on purpose or intentional. It was the unconscious mind creating the same thing over and over again. So, because it already knew how to fix it. And this is where I've always struggled with my weight loss journey was my brain knows how to lose weight. And so it will gain weight so I can keep losing it so that I can keep being good at something because it's like, I'm really good at losing weight. And so I'm going to gain it so that I can keep losing it and I get a dopamine hit, right? So what we want to do is we want to just focus on what we want to create. And it's like, I want to create health and a body that I love and a life that I love. And I want to live my life with purpose. And I want to know that I am the predominant creative force in my life. I want to feel it every morning when I wake up. So we always start with the end in mind. So we are going to do a really cool exercise called the inner fire meditation. And it's where we hold two realities at the same time. Because right now, the human mind has developed into a place where we can actually hold two competing thoughts, two completely contradictory thoughts in our mind at the same time. And that is like, I would like to have ice cream and I would like to have a thin and healthy body. So those are two competing thoughts, right? Because ice cream doesn't get you fat. So not if you eat it the way that I did when I was pregnant and quit smoking. So it got me the opposite, right? So so I'm not going to argue diet rules and all of that with you right now. We're just gonna use this as a simple example. So it's not going to get you what you want, but my mind wants both. So what we have to do is teach our mind how to make a decision for our health in the moment. And so we're going to do a inner fire meditation, and we're going to teach our mind what it feels like to hold two competing beliefs at the same time. So what I'm going to have you do is just sit back, relax, take a nice deep breath, and you're just going to close your eyes and I'm going to walk you through this meditation. Okay, so go ahead and settle back in, close your eyes, and take a nice deep breath. Just let go of any stress or worry or concern. Take a deep breath into your belly. Exhale through your mouth and just let go of any stress or worries. Just see them floating out of your field like little bubbles. Just get settled into the current moment, current experience. And as you do that, I want you to think about all of your dreams, your desires, and aspirations for your life. I want you to just allow the images of those to pop up into your mind and just feel into your body for a moment. Just feel into your body and just notice your body. Notice how it feels right now. And just notice. Take a deep breath in and just allow your mind to show you, just to play. What would it like to do? What would you love to do with your life? As you think about these things, these future events that have not yet happened, just think about what gets in your way, what's stopping you. And just notice maybe how many times you've put things off. Just notice how many times you've given yourself excuses. Notice how you haven't followed through on the things that you want. Just for a second, just notice those times, maybe 2 or 3 or 4, or maybe you procrastinated on the thing that your heart was calling you to do. And now come back to the now, come back to the present moment. And I want you to decide, make a decision to doubt yourself. I want you to decide to make excuses. I want you to decide that you're not going to follow through with any of the dreams that you have. I want you to decide that you're going to play small. And I just want you to notice that as you make that decision, parts of you are a little bit happy about it. They're like, that's just who I am. And just notice how when you make the decision to stay the same, it feels very comfortable. It's okay. You don't have to make any changes. Everything gets to stay the same. You get to keep chasing after the same problems. Just notice how there's some benefit to that. And that's okay. And as you decide to play small and not take care of your health in the way that you know that you can, I want you to notice how that decision feels. Just notice where you feel it in your body. And now I want you to walk into your future 3 months from today. You wake up in the morning, you walk into the bathroom, you put your hands down on the bathroom sink and you look at yourself right in the eye. It's 3 months from today, 3 months from not following through with your heart. And I want you to just connect with yourself for a second. What do you say to yourself 3 months from now, having not done the thing that your heart was calling you to do? What do you say to yourself? What's it like to be that person? What do you look like? What is your life like? You allowed your old identity to pull you back, and that's okay. But what do you say to yourself when you know that you did that? And now I want you to stay in the same place and go out a year from today. Notice what it feels like to be you a year from now, deciding not to follow through. You decided to not follow through on the things that you wanted to do. to stay safe and play small, not make any changes or allow growth to happen. Just notice. It's not good or bad, just notice. And I want you to notice where you feel it in your body. Feel it and notice what it's like to be that person. What does your life look like? What are you doing? How are you spending your time? Who's around you? What are you saying to yourself? I want you to notice that you're walking down a street and it's a cloudy day. You're walking down the street and you catch a reflection in the glass window. What's it like a year from today, having not really followed through with your dreams? How do you look? How do you feel? What's not in your life that you thought would be? Imagine what that feels like right now to be the person that doesn't follow through, that doesn't grow, that doesn't prioritize themselves. Now go out 5 years from now. 5 years, not following through, not putting your needs first. 5 years of not growing, of saying you'll do it next year. What's it like? Where do you feel in your body? Teach your body what it feels like to not show up for yourself. Really play full out on this. Notice that you're looking through old photos and you realize that nothing's changed. You chose not, you didn't choose yourself. Notice what that feels like. Teach your body what it feels like to procrastinate. Teach your body what it's like to not follow through. Notice what areas of your life that affects. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. My question for you is this future version of you, the one that you really want to create from your heart. Is this the future you that you want? Because it's yours. It's your choice. We all get to have a choice. Is this the choice? The version that maybe eats the wrong food or doesn't exercise or take time for meditation. The one who always puts others' needs ahead of their own, never fully knowing or following through with what their heart is calling them to do. Is this the version of you that you would like? And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. But if it's not, state firmly to yourself, say it out loud. No, this is not my choice. I choose something new. And allow your consciousness to float back from then on your timeline all the way back to now, looking at all the things that could have happened if you became the identity of that version of you. Float all the way back to the 5-year version of you, back to the 3-month version of you, all the way back to now. And notice that you're back here in your room and you can shake it off, just shake it off. And as you sit here with your eyes closed, I want you to make a firm decision to be someone who is going to grow, somebody that's shifting today, somebody that is going to follow through. I want you to make the decision internally now to be the new version of you right now. What does it feel like to be somebody who follows through? What does it feel like to be somebody who goes for health and vitality, who takes care of themselves, who prioritizes themselves above all else? How does it feel like to love yourself so much that you know you're the top priority in your life, that you have emotional health, you take care of your mental health, your physical health, your environment reflects this back to you. Feel what it feels like to have this new determination, this new focus, this new version of you is you. Now let's step forward into your new storyline and step forward as you can feel it in your body. What are you saying to yourself in this new version of you as you walk into the future? 3 months from now, you wake up. 3 months from today, you're out in the future. You wake up in the morning, you bounce out of bed. You've been taking small, actionable steps towards taking care of your health, making sure that you have vital energy. You've been listening to your intuition. You've been trusting yourself. What does it feel like to be this version of you bouncing out of bed 3 months from now? Go look at yourself in the bathroom mirror. What are you saying to yourself 3 months from now? How proud of you are you? How does it feel to be the person that follows through? What have you achieved? What is your life like? How does it feel? Put a smile on your face, because I know it feels great to somebody who says, I am important. I am worth growing. I am worthy. I am worthy of my time and attention. I am worthy of my own self-admiration, self-love, and self-care. I am worthy of attention. I am worthy of loving myself so much that I prioritize my own needs. I know what they are. What does it feel like to be that person? Look at your face. Does it glow? Do you feel different about the eyes looking back at you? Allow yourself to be so grateful for making the decision. As you move forward a year from now, you're walking along the street. Notice how you walk in this new reality, how much more confident you feel. Notice how much there's more bounce in your step. Notice how you catch your reflection in the glass and you stop and you go, you're amazing. Wow, look at you. Look how you're dressed. Look how you walk. Look how you hold yourself. Notice how other people notice you. How they like, wow, what did you do? What water did you drink? What's your diet like? How do you exercise? What do you do? Notice what it feels like to have an impact on other people. How it feels like connection, how it feels inspiring to inspire other people around you just by being you. Now say it out loud to yourself, or say it in your head, but say it. I choose this. I choose me. Now go out 5 years from now. What does it feel like to be this new version of you? You take your health into your own hands. You trust your intuition. You take aligned action. You do what you say you're going to do. Notice how it feels to be this version of you 5 years from now. How much has your life shifted? What are you doing? What are you going after that you never thought you would go after before? Who's in your circle? How do you spend your time? What is your mind saying to you? Feel it in your body. Breathe it into your lungs. Imagine what it feels like to be this person who's so committed to themselves, to their health, to their future. How does it feel to be that person? Doesn't it feel good? Doesn't it feel good to be that person who so loves themselves so much? Breathe in. And I want you to ask this future version of you, what do you need to know? See this future version of you go and stand in front of a full-length mirror, and they see themselves standing in front of themselves. Connect in with the mirror image. Now step into the identity of that version of you, that future version of you. Step into their identity. Look back at your reflection, staring back at you, being this person who prioritizes themselves, who takes care of their health, who knows how valuable they are, who respects themselves. look back at this person in the reflection and ask them, what do you need to know today? What's the message they have for you? And just listen. And when you're ready, come back into the present moment and maybe take a moment to write it down and just write it down so you have it for later. This is us anchoring in on where we're going. And that's really the magic sauce of creating anything that you want in your life. It's knowing where you're going. And we have to let go of the how and keep focusing on the end result. And that's really the thing that's the most important. So many of us get stuck in the hows that come from society, the hows that come from our family, the hows that we have from a lifetime of information, right? We have to let go of the how, and we have to really step into the future and ask and connect in with the emotion of it, and then bring that information back. Sometimes the information doesn't make sense, but it might be like, go for a walk. Just do that today. Just go for a walk. Just do a meditation. Just maybe have some celery juice in the morning. A lot of the time, it's just simple feedback. And that is where most of the change happens. It's learning and teaching your unconscious that you can take small aligned steps to start becoming this version of you who has this healthy body that trusts themselves to make the right decision that are in alignment with their future. I hope you enjoyed that exercise. It's one of my favorite. I have one on my YouTube channel if you like it. I have a more lengthy one on my YouTube channel, which I'll go ahead and post in the notes, or it's on my website. So however you got here, it will be it's on my YouTube channel as well. Okay. So now I'm going to talk to you about the Mindful Health Program and talk about how we use these tools and similar tools to help you make unconscious and conscious shifts in the way that you feel empowered with your health. So if you're going to sign off because you're not interested in doing the program and you just came for the process, thank you. I appreciate your time. You can follow me on Instagram or follow me on Facebook, or you can sign up for my email list so you can get email updates and also newsletters and helpful tips through your email. If not, I hope you have a wonderful day. And if you're going to stay on, I'm just going to share my screen again. We're going to go and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what we're going to cover in the Mindful Health Program and how it will benefit you and your future self and help you get into alignment with that. So, mindful health is a holistic approach to health and wellness that focuses on the mind body connection. It is based on the idea that our physical and our mental health are intertwined and that we can improve our overall well being by paying attention to both. In the 12-week course, we're going to take a deep dive into the effects of chronic stress, burnout, anxiety on the body. And another thing that I didn't put in here, but like if you've had toxic relationships or narcissistic abuse, it impacts the body. It impacts the body in a really intense way. And so we're going to really learn about the impact of stress on the body and unprocessed emotions. We're going to learn science, powerful science-backed techniques that engage your mind to help heal your body. We're going to learn energy techniques. We're going to learn about behavioral shifts that improve your emotional, mental, and physical health. I'm going to talk to you about how your body is communicating with you. What is it trying to tell you and how to listen? I'm going to help you understand tools on how to improve your sleep quality, how to use breath work to shift your state and improve your conscious awareness. We're going to talk about the dysfunctional relationship pattern that you might have with your body or parts of your body. Maybe it's with pain, maybe it's with autoimmune, maybe it's with your anxiety. We're going to look at those dysfunctional relationship patterns that you have with your body. We're going to look at how unprocessed emotions and trauma stored in the body, and we're going to learn powerful techniques on how to release it, how to identify it, connect with it, and then release it. We're really going to work on developing your intuition to guide you to optimal health. We're going to look at your family rules and your inherited patterns of what the rules were about clean your plate or healthy people are rude. There's so many rules that we have that were created by society, by our family, by our ancestors that we're going to take a look at and rewire and recode. And we're just going to keep removing blocks that are keeping you from taking action and prioritizing your health. We want to shift into the identity of somebody who embodies health. And this is going to create lasting change in your life. So we're not looking at, we're going to do a 30-day cleanse to shift your body. We're looking at changing it from the inside out, looking at the relationship that you have with yourself, that you have with your environment, that you have with food, the whole holistic approach to it. So the program starts October 2nd. Registration will close on September 30th. And there is a full refund. So if you sign up and within 2 weeks of the launch date, you're like, this is not what I'm interested in. I don't want to do this. Then I'll go ahead and issue a full refund, no questions asked. So it's a very safe bet. As a bonus, I'm going to include a whole sub program on emotional eating, and this is at no additional charge. So this is for people who have a unhealthy relationship with their emotions, and so they tend to eat in order to deal with their emotions instead of really feeling them. So we'll have a big section on how to feel, how to release emotions, how to work through emotions, and then how to shift into emotions that will benefit you and your health. And that's going to include an additional weekly accountability call that will have focus completely around emotional eating. I believe that that they're linked. And so it's really important that we focus on both, especially if you're looking for total body transformation. That's a big part of it. We will be meeting on Mondays at 5:30 Pacific time. The course is 12 weeks. It will all be done via Zoom. Because this is a beta launch and I'm creating this program as we go and I'm writing the content based on your feedback, my clinical experience. The program's only $197, and that is because we're building it and I'm looking forward to receiving your feedback as we go. The regular program will be much more expensive in the future. So you're saving like about $1,000 by participating in my beta program. You'll have lifetime access. So when we relaunch it next year and it's a lot stronger and it has even more content, you're still going to have lifetime access to that group, and you'll be able to go through the program as many times as you want. And the important thing about that is as we change and as we shift and as we become the new identity, we have new things that come up. And so we might want to go through it again as the new version of ourselves. It's like when you read a book twice or you've seen a movie twice. It's not the same version that watched it or read it the first time. You're watching it with a whole new perspective, a whole new outlook. So when you go through it again, you'll also then have this whole new outlook. You'll become this new identity, this new version of you with new perspective. So that is the program. So there is a link to join, and I hope to see you there. I'm excited. This has been something that I have been wanting to create for the last 10 years, and I'm so glad that I'm not procrastinating on that anymore. And I'm very excited to be sharing this knowledge and wisdom that I've gained and working in the wellness industry for 2 decades with all of you. So thank you for showing up today. And I'm going to go ahead and end the recording and then stay on if anyone has any questions or anything specifically that they would like to ask me about. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you.